The morning frost covered the sprawling grounds of Sandringham estate like a delicate crystal blanket. Princess Charlotte pressed her small face against the cold window of the Norfolk residence, her breath creating small clouds on the glass as she watched the groundskeepers preparing for the family's traditional Christmas gathering. At 9 years old, Charlotte had already developed a reputation for her spirited personality and keen observation skills that often surprised the adults around her. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, entered the morning room carrying a steaming cup of tea, her footsteps soft on the polished wooden floors. She found her daughter still stationed at the window, completely absorbed in the activity outside. The estate buzzed with preparations as staff members arranged outdoor decorations and ensured every detail was perfect for the royal family's arrival. "What has captured your attention so completely this morning?" Catherine asked gently, settling into the chair beside her daughter. Charlotte turned from the window with bright eyes that sparkled with excitement and curiosity. She had noticed something unusual happening near the old oak tree that stood majestically on the estate's main lawn. "Mummy, there's a man out there who keeps looking at our windows with something shiny in his hands," Charlotte explained, pointing toward a figure partially hidden behind the ancient tree. "He's been there for almost an hour, and he seems very interested in our house." Her voice carried the matter-of-fact tone that had become her trademark when discussing serious matters. Catherine moved closer to the window and followed her daughter's gaze. Indeed, there was a man with what appeared to be a camera or binoculars positioned strategically to observe the main residence. The sight immediately triggered her protective instincts, and she made a mental note to inform the security team about this potential breach of privacy. The Sandringham estate had always been considered a private retreat for the royal family, a place where they could enjoy relative normalcy away from the constant scrutiny of public life. However, Charlotte's sharp eyes had detected what the adults had missed, demonstrating the remarkable awareness that had been developing within her since early childhood. "You've made a very important observation," Catherine told her daughter, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We should let the security team know about this right away." Charlotte nodded seriously, understanding the gravity of the situation while feeling proud that her vigilance had proven valuable. As they prepared to contact security, Charlotte continued watching the mysterious figure. She noticed he seemed nervous, frequently checking his watch and glancing toward the main entrance of the estate. His behavior suggested he was either waiting for something specific to happen or expecting someone to arrive. The morning sun began to break through the clouds, casting long shadows across the perfectly manicured lawns. Charlotte observed how the light revealed more details about the stranger's appearance and equipment. He wore dark clothing that helped him blend with the tree's bark, and his camera appeared to be quite sophisticated, suggesting this was not a casual photography enthusiast. William emerged from his study, having been informed by Catherine about Charlotte's discovery. He approached the window with the measured steps of someone accustomed to dealing with security concerns. His expression remained calm, but Charlotte could sense the underlying tension as he assessed the situation. "Well done, Charlotte," he said quietly, his voice carrying both pride and concern. "Your observation skills are becoming quite impressive." He pulled out his phone to contact the head of security while keeping his movements subtle to avoid alerting the intruder to their awareness of his presence. Charlotte felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility as she realized her alertness had potentially prevented a security breach. She understood that her family's safety depended on everyone being vigilant, and she was proud to contribute to their protection. The incident was teaching her valuable lessons about awareness and the importance of trusting her instincts. The security team responded quickly to William's call, though their approach was carefully coordinated to avoid creating a scene that might attract additional unwanted attention. Charlotte watched with fascination as trained professionals moved with precision and purpose, demonstrating the sophisticated systems in place to protect the royal family. As the morning progressed, Charlotte's discovery became the catalyst for a series of events that would transform what was meant to be a quiet family gathering into something much more significant. The mysterious observer represented just the beginning of challenges that would test not only the security systems at Sandringham, but also Charlotte's growing confidence in her ability to navigate complex situations. The incident reinforced Catherine and William's growing recognition that their daughter possessed exceptional observational skills and mature judgment that belied her young age. Charlotte was developing into someone who could be trusted with important responsibilities, and her parents began to see new possibilities for a future role within the royal family. The stranger's presence raised questions about how he had managed to position himself so close to the residence without being detected by the regular security patrols. This breach suggested either a gap in the security protocols or someone with detailed knowledge of the estate's routines and blind spots. Charlotte's alertness had prevented what could have been a significant privacy violation, but it also highlighted the constant challenges faced by the royal family in maintaining both security and a semblance of normal family life. The incident would serve as a reminder that even in their most private moments, vigilance remained essential. The security team moved with swift efficiency across the Sandringham grounds, their coordinated approach demonstrating years of training and experience. Charlotte remained at her window post, now accompanied by both parents who had developed a new appreciation for their daughter's natural surveillance abilities. The mysterious figure near the oak tree seemed oblivious to the net closing around his position. Detective Inspector Sarah Mitchell, the lead security officer for the estate, approached the residence through the main entrance. Her years of protecting the royal family had taught her to take every potential threat seriously, regardless of how minor it might appear. She carried herself with the quiet confidence of someone who had handled countless security situations without ever seeking public recognition for her service. Charlotte watched with intense curiosity as the security operation unfolded before her eyes. She could see officers positioning themselves at strategic points around the estate, creating an invisible perimeter that would prevent the intruder from escaping while avoiding any dramatic confrontation that might attract media attention. "What do you think will happen to him?" Charlotte asked her parents, her voice reflecting both concern and fascination. She had never witnessed a real security operation, and the experience was both educational and slightly thrilling. The situation was teaching her about the serious responsibilities that came with her position in the royal family. William explained that the security team would first attempt to determine the person's intentions before deciding on the appropriate response. The approach would be professional and measured, designed to gather information while ensuring everyone's safety. Charlotte listened carefully, understanding that she was receiving valuable insights into how such situations were handled. The intruder finally became aware of the security presence when two officers emerged from behind nearby trees, moving toward his position with calm authority. Charlotte could see his obvious surprise and confusion as he realized he had been discovered. His body language suggested someone who had not expected to be caught, indicating this might have been an opportunistic rather than a planned intrusion. Detective Inspector Mitchell approached the man with practiced diplomacy, engaging him in conversation while other officers maintained strategic positions nearby. From her window, Charlotte could not hear the discussion, but she could observe the body language and interactions that told their own story about the unfolding situation. The stranger appeared to be explaining himself, gesturing toward his camera equipment and pointing in various directions around the estate. His demeanor suggested nervousness rather than aggression, which helped reduce the tension of the moment. Charlotte noted how the security officers remained alert, but avoided any actions that might escalate the situation unnecessarily. Catherine had been quietly making phone calls to coordinate with the estate management about reviewing security protocols. The incident highlighted potential vulnerabilities in the perimeter monitoring systems that needed immediate attention. She spoke in low tones to avoid alarming Charlotte, while ensuring all necessary precautions were being implemented. After nearly 30 minutes of conversation, Detective Inspector Mitchell began walking toward the main residence with the intruder accompanying her voluntarily. This development suggested the situation was moving toward a peaceful resolution, though Charlotte observed that security officers maintained their positions until the matter was completely resolved. The family moved to the morning room, where they would meet with Detective Inspector Mitchell to learn the outcome of her investigation. Charlotte felt proud that her alertness had contributed to protecting her family and the estate, while also being curious about what had motivated the stranger's actions. When Detective Inspector Mitchell entered the room, her expression was professional but reassuring. She had determined that the intruder was a freelance photographer who had been hoping to capture candid photos of the royal family during their Christmas preparations. His presence represented a privacy violation rather than a security threat, though the distinction was important for determining the appropriate response. The gentleman claims he received information that the family would be arriving this morning. Detective Inspector Mitchell explained to William and Catherine. He positioned himself to photograph what he thought would be your arrival, though he was clearly misinformed about the timing. Charlotte listened intently, learning about the challenges her family faced from people seeking unauthorized photos. The photographer had apparently obtained his information from someone claiming to have inside knowledge of the royal family schedule. This revelation raised additional concerns about potential information leaks within the staff or service providers who had access to sensitive details about family movements and activities. Charlotte asked permission to speak and then surprised everyone with her next observation. He was checking his watch frequently and looking toward the main entrance, she said thoughtfully. It seemed like he was expecting something to happen at a specific time. Her detailed recollection impressed the adults and provided additional evidence supporting the photographer's explanation. Detective Inspector Mitchell confirmed that Charlotte's observations aligned perfectly with the photographer's story about expecting the family's arrival based on the incorrect information he had received. The young princess had demonstrated remarkable attention to detail and analytical thinking that would serve her well in future responsibilities. The incident was being documented as a security breach, though charges would likely not be pursued given the photographer's cooperation and the non-threatening nature of his intentions. However, the estate security protocols would be thoroughly reviewed to prevent similar incidents in the future. Charlotte's parents exchanged meaningful glances, both recognizing that their daughter had displayed exceptional maturity and judgment throughout the situation. Her ability to remain calm while providing crucial observations suggested she possessed natural instincts that would be valuable in her future role within the royal family. The morning's events had transformed what was intended to be a quiet family day into an educational experience about security, vigilance, and the responsibilities that came with their position. Charlotte had proven herself capable of contributing meaningfully to serious situations while maintaining the composed demeanor expected of a member of the royal family. As the immediate crisis resolved, the family began to consider the broader implications of the incident and what it might mean for their security protocols during future visits to Sandringham. Charlotte's alertness had prevented a significant privacy violation, but it also highlighted the ongoing challenges they faced in maintaining both security and normalcy in their family life. The afternoon brought unexpected developments as Detective Inspector Mitchell received additional information about the morning security incident. While reviewing the photographer's equipment and credentials, her team discovered that he possessed press identification from a publication known for its aggressive pursuit of royal stories. This revelation elevated the incident from a simple trespassing case to a more serious breach of privacy with potential legal implications. Charlotte had returned to her favorite reading spot in the library, though she found concentration difficult with all the activity surrounding the investigation. Through the tall windows, she could see security personnel conducting a thorough sweep of the estate grounds, checking for any additional unauthorized individuals or equipment that might have been overlooked during the initial response. The photographer, whose name was revealed as Marcus Thompson, had been questioned more extensively about his sources and methods. His story about receiving inside information began to unravel under closer scrutiny, suggesting a more sophisticated operation than initially apparent. Detective Inspector Mitchell suspected this might be part of a coordinated effort to gather unauthorized information about the royal family's private activities. Catherine found Charlotte in the library and settled into the adjacent chair, recognizing her daughter's need to process the morning's events. The incident had exposed Charlotte to realities about their public life that were both educational and somewhat concerning for a child her age. Catherine wanted to ensure her daughter understood the situation without becoming fearful or overly burdened by security concerns. "You handled yourself remarkably well today," Catherine told her daughter, her voice warm with maternal pride. "Your observation and quick thinking helped prevent something that could have been much more serious." Charlotte looked up from her book, her expression thoughtful as she considered the implications of what had transpired. The investigation had expanded beyond the immediate incident to examine how Marcus Thompson had obtained detailed information about the estate's layout and the family's typical routines. His positioning near the oak tree demonstrated knowledge that suggested either previous surveillance or information provided by someone with insider access. William joined them in the library, carrying updates from his conversation with Detective Inspector Mitchell. The security team had discovered evidence suggesting Thompson had been conducting surveillance for several days, using different vantage points around the estate to study patterns and identify optimal positions for photography. "This makes your observation even more important," William explained to Charlotte. "You notice something that our regular security sweeps had missed, which shows the value of having alert family members who know what normal looks like around here." Charlotte felt a sense of pride, mixed with the sobering realization of the ongoing threats her family faced. The discovery of Thompson's extended surveillance raised questions about the effectiveness of the estate's current security protocols. Detective Inspector Mitchell was coordinating with local law enforcement to review footage from traffic cameras and nearby businesses to trace Thompson's movements and determine if he had accomplices. Charlotte asked thoughtful questions about why someone would go to such lengths to photograph their family, leading to a discussion about media interest in royal activities and the challenges of maintaining privacy while fulfilling public duties. Her parents explained these concepts in age-appropriate terms, while ensuring she understood the importance of remaining vigilant. The afternoon brought news that Thompson's camera equipment contained photos spanning several days, confirming the surveillance theory. Some images showed family members during previous activities at the estate, representing a significant violation of their privacy that could have legal consequences for the photographer and any publication that might have commissioned his work. Detective Inspector Mitchell reported that Thompson had eventually admitted to being hired by a tabloid publication to gather candid photos of the royal family during their Christmas preparations. The assignment included specific requests for images showing family interactions and private moments that would appeal to readers interested in behind-the-scenes glimpses of royal life. Charlotte listened to these revelations with growing understanding of the complex challenges her family faced in balancing their public responsibilities with their desire for private family time. The incident was providing her with valuable insights into the intersection of media interest, security concerns, and personal privacy that would be relevant throughout her life. The investigation revealed that Thompson had been given detailed information about the family's planned activities, including expected arrival times and preferred locations on the estate. This intelligence suggested the involvement of someone with legitimate access to sensitive information, raising concerns about potential security leaks within their trusted circle. Catherine and William made the difficult decision to brief Charlotte about the broader implications of the incident, recognizing that her sharp observational skills and growing maturity made her a valuable ally in maintaining family security. They explained that she should continue reporting unusual observations while avoiding any behavior that might make her seem paranoid or overly suspicious. The estate management began implementing enhanced security measures, including improved perimeter monitoring and additional background checks for staff members with access to sensitive information. Charlotte's role in detecting the initial breach had highlighted both vulnerabilities and strengths in their current security arrangements. As evening approached, Detective Inspector Mitchell provided a comprehensive update on the investigation's progress. Thompson would face charges related to trespassing and harassment, While investigators continued pursuing the source of his inside information about the family's activities and schedules, Charlotte's parents recognized that their daughter had demonstrated exceptional judgment and composure throughout the day's events. Her ability to notice unusual activity, report appropriately, and maintain calm during the investigation suggested she possessed natural instincts that would be valuable in her future role within the royal family. The incident had transformed from a simple security breach into a complex investigation involving media ethics, privacy laws, and the ongoing challenge of protecting the royal family's personal life. Charlotte had played a crucial role in uncovering what might have been a significant violation of their privacy and security. The day's events reinforced the family's understanding that even their most private retreat was subject to potential intrusion, requiring constant vigilance and sophisticated security measures. Charlotte's contribution to detecting and resolving the threat had earned her recognition as a valuable team member in maintaining family safety and privacy. The following morning brought a significant breakthrough in the investigation when Detective Inspector Mitchell's team identified the source of the leaked information about the royal family's activities. Through careful analysis of communication records and staff schedules, they discovered that a temporary catering worker had been providing details about the family's movements to Marcus Thompson in exchange for payment. Charlotte woke to find the estate buzzing with renewed activity as investigators worked to understand the full scope of the security breach. The revelation that someone within their trusted service network had betrayed their privacy was particularly disturbing for the family, who depended on the discretion and loyalty of their staff members. The temporary worker, identified as James Fletcher, had been employed through a reputable agency that provided additional staff for special events and busy periods at the estate. His background check had shown no red flags, making his betrayal particularly concerning for the security team responsible for vetting personnel with access to sensitive areas. Catherine gathered Charlotte in the morning room to explain the latest developments, recognizing that her daughter deserved to understand how her initial observation had led to uncovering a more serious security issue. The conversation provided an opportunity to discuss trust, loyalty, and the responsibilities that came with access to private information about their family. Your alertness yesterday helped us discover something much more important than one photographer, Catherine explained to her daughter. It revealed that someone we trusted was sharing information about our family with people who shouldn't have it. Charlotte listened intently, understanding the gravity of the betrayal and its implications for their security. Detective Inspector Mitchell arrived at the residence with updates on James Fletcher's arrest and the evidence gathered about his activities. The investigation had revealed that Fletcher had been providing information to Thompson for several weeks, including details about family schedules, preferred locations on the estate, and security routines. The breadth of information Fletcher had access to was concerning, as temporary staff members were typically given only the details necessary for their specific duties. His ability to gather comprehensive intelligence about the family's activities suggested he had been actively seeking information beyond his legitimate responsibilities. Charlotte asked thoughtful questions about how the investigation had progressed from her initial observation to the current developments. Detective Inspector Mitchell took time to explain how security professionals use small clues to uncover larger patterns, praising Charlotte's role in initiating the investigation that led to these important discoveries. The evidence against Fletcher included recorded phone conversations with Thompson, financial records showing payments for information, and detailed notes about the royal family's activities found in his personal belongings. The case demonstrated how a seemingly minor security breach could reveal much more serious ongoing threats to privacy and safety. William joined the discussion to address Charlotte's questions about how such betrayals could be prevented in the future. He explained the challenge of balancing necessary access for staff members with security requirements, acknowledging that determined individuals could sometimes exploit their positions despite careful screening procedures. The investigation had expanded to examine whether Fletcher had been working with other publications or individuals seeking unauthorized information about the royal family. Detective Inspector Mitchell's team was reviewing his communications and financial records to identify any additional security breaches or ongoing threats. Charlotte's understanding of the situation demonstrated remarkable maturity as she grasped both the immediate implications of Fletcher's betrayal and the broader challenges it represented for their family's security. Her questions showed sophisticated thinking about trust, privacy, and the complex relationships between public figures and those who serve them. The estate management was conducting a comprehensive review of all current and recent staff members, implementing enhanced security protocols for information handling, and establishing new procedures for monitoring access to sensitive details about the family's activities. Charlotte's role in triggering this security overhaul was acknowledged by all involved. Detective Inspector Mitchell reported that Fletcher claimed to have been motivated primarily by financial incentives rather than any personal animosity toward the royal family. However, investigators were examining whether he might have been recruited specifically for his potential access to inside information, suggesting possible coordination by media organizations seeking unauthorized content. The case had attracted attention from privacy advocates and legal experts who argued that such breaches represented serious violations of the royal family's rights to private life. The incident was likely to result in stronger legal protections and enhanced penalties for those who attempted to profit from unauthorized surveillance or information gathering. Charlotte's parents used the situation as an educational opportunity to discuss the responsibilities that came with their public position and the importance of maintaining appropriate boundaries between their public and private lives. These conversations helped prepare Charlotte for the ongoing challenges she would face as she grew older and assumed greater responsibilities. The afternoon brought additional revelations when investigators discovered that Fletcher had photographed documents and areas of the estate during his work assignments, creating a comprehensive intelligence package about the family security arrangements and daily routines. This evidence demonstrated a level of premeditation that elevated the seriousness of his actions. Charlotte accompanied her parents to a security briefing where Detective Inspector Mitchell outlined the enhanced measures being implemented to prevent similar breaches in the future. The young princess listened carefully as experts explained new technologies and procedures designed to protect both their safety and privacy. The incident had evolved from Charlotte's simple observation of an unusual person near the oak tree into a complex case involving media ethics, privacy law, and the ongoing challenges of protecting public figures from unauthorized surveillance. Her initial alertness had prevented what could have been a much more serious compromise of the family's security and privacy. As the investigation continued, Charlotte's role in detecting the original threat was recognized as crucial to uncovering the broader security breach. Her observation skills and judgment had proven valuable assets in maintaining the family's safety, earning her recognition as a trusted member of their security team. The day's developments reinforced the importance of vigilance and trust within the royal family's inner circle while highlighting the ongoing challenges they face from those seeking to profit from unauthorized access to their private lives. Charlotte had learned valuable lessons about security, loyalty, and the responsibilities that came with her position in the royal family. 2 weeks later, the full implications of Charlotte's initial observation had transformed into a landmark legal case that would establish new precedents for protecting the privacy of public figures. The investigation had expanded beyond Marcus Thompson and James Fletcher to involve multiple media organizations and individuals who had been purchasing unauthorized information about the royal family's private activities. Charlotte sat in the family's private study as her parents reviewed the final reports from Detective Inspector Mitchell's investigation. The case had revealed an extensive network of individuals working to gather and sell private information about their family, making Charlotte's alertness even more significant in protecting their security and privacy. The legal proceedings had resulted in significant penalties for those involved, including substantial fines and restraining orders that prohibited future unauthorized surveillance of the royal family. Thompson faced charges related to harassment and trespassing, while Fletcher was prosecuted for breach of trust and violation of confidentiality agreements. Catherine and William had decided to use the incident as an opportunity to discuss with Charlotte the broader responsibilities and challenges that came with their royal position. Her demonstration of exceptional observation skills and mature judgment had convinced them that she was ready for more serious conversations about their family's role and the sacrifices it required. Your observation that mourning protected not just our family, but established important protections for other public figures who face similar invasions of privacy, William explained to his daughter. Charlotte listened thoughtfully, understanding that her simple act of noticing something unusual had led to much larger consequences for media behavior and privacy rights. Detective Inspector Mitchell had commended Charlotte's contribution to the investigation in her final report, noting that the young princess had displayed exceptional awareness and judgment that directly contributed to uncovering a serious security breach. This recognition had pleased Charlotte, while also helping her understand the importance of remaining vigilant in future situations. The enhanced security measures implemented at Sandringham had become a model for other royal residences, incorporating lessons learned from the investigation about potential vulnerabilities and the importance of comprehensive background checking for all personnel with access to sensitive information or locations. Charlotte's experience had also led to discussions within the royal family about preparing younger members for the security challenges they would face throughout their lives. Her natural observational abilities and calm demeanor under pressure suggested she possessed valuable instincts that could be developed and refined through appropriate training and education. The media coverage of the case had been carefully managed to protect Charlotte's privacy while acknowledging the important role she had played in detecting the initial security breach. Public interest in the story had been significant, but the family's communications team had successfully focused attention on the legal and privacy issues rather than personal details about Charlotte's involvement. Educational opportunities emerged from the incident as Charlotte began working with security professionals to develop her understanding of threat assessment and situational awareness. These sessions were designed to be age-appropriate while providing valuable skills that would serve her well throughout her life in the public eye. The case had strengthened relationships between the royal family and law enforcement agencies responsible for their protection, with Charlotte's contribution serving as an example of how family members could effectively support professional security efforts through awareness and appropriate reporting of unusual activities. Detective Inspector Mitchell had recommended that Charlotte receive formal recognition for her role in protecting the family's security, though such acknowledgement would need to be carefully balanced with maintaining her privacy and normal childhood development. Her parents were considering appropriate ways to honor her contribution while avoiding unwanted publicity. The incident had taught Charlotte valuable lessons about trust, loyalty, and the importance of being alert to potential threats without becoming overly suspicious or fearful. These lessons would be crucial as she grew older and faced increasing public attention and potential security challenges. 6 months after the initial incident, Charlotte received a private commendation from the head of Royal Protection, recognizing her exceptional contribution to family security. The ceremony was small and private, attended only by immediate family and key security personnel who had worked on the investigation. Charlotte's observation skills have been formally recognized as an asset to the family security arrangements, leading to new protocols that encouraged family members to report unusual activities while providing them with training to distinguish between genuine concerns and normal variations in their environment. The long-term impact of Charlotte's alertness extended beyond the immediate case to influence how the royal family approached security at all their residences. Her ability to notice something that experienced security professionals had missed highlighted the value of multiple perspectives in maintaining comprehensive protection. The Sandringham estate had become more secure as a result of the investigation triggered by Charlotte's observation, with enhanced perimeter monitoring, improved staff screening procedures, and better coordination between family members and security personnel. These improvements ensured that the estate would continue serving as a safe retreat for future generations. Charlotte's confidence had grown significantly through her experience with the investigation and its aftermath. She had learned that her observations and judgment were valued by adults, while also understanding the serious responsibilities that came with such trust and recognition. The case had established important legal precedents about privacy rights and media behavior, with Charlotte's role in initiating the investigation being cited in legal discussions about protecting public figures from unauthorized surveillance. Her contribution had extended far beyond her family to benefit others facing similar challenges. As Charlotte reflected on the events that had begun with her simple observation of an unusual figure near the oak tree, she understood that her alertness had protected not only her family's immediate safety, but had also contributed to broader changes in how privacy and security were protected for public figures. The experience had prepared Charlotte for future challenges while demonstrating that even young members of the royal family could make meaningful contributions to important issues. Her observation skills, judgment, and calm demeanor under pressure had been recognized as valuable assets that would serve her well throughout her life in service to the monarchy. The investigation that began with Charlotte's watchful eye had concluded with strengthened security, enhanced legal protections, and a young princess who had proven herself capable of handling serious responsibilities with exceptional maturity and grace. Her commanding attention at Sandringham had indeed made a lasting impact on both her family and the broader protection of privacy rights.